Hi, I'm Laura and welcome to class today. We're going to be doing a quick ab workout. So as always, look after your own body. We're going to start with some pre-Pilates, so this can be something that you can come back to and use it as your option whenever you need to. So we'll get started, starting on our backs. So feet towards the bottom of your mat, hold to the back of the thighs and take a moment to roll all the way down. So organising the body into our neutral alignment. So bring your feet a comfortable distance from your bottom. And we want to roughly line our heels up with our two sitting bones. And whatever distance our feet are at, we want to check that our knees are the same distance. And then we're checking the neck. So nodding the chin towards the chest, so the back of the neck is elongating along your mat. And your eye gaze is slightly forwards on the ceiling above you. From there, we should be able to feel the back of the rib cage heavy onto the mat. And if that's difficult to achieve, here's where you may need pillow, block, or a cushion or anything underneath your head. Because the higher the head is in relation to the ribs, the more achievable it is to bring the rib cage down. So we're checking that the rib cage is down, and then you're going to bring your hands to the front of your pelvis. So the heel of the hands where your two pelvic bones are, and the fingertips around about where your pubic bone is. And I want you to find your neutral alignment with your pelvis. So we're adjusting the pelvis in any way that we need to bring our two pelvic bones and our pubic bones so that they are level with each other. And the triangle that those three bones create is parallel to the ceiling. So just having another check into the body, we should feel the feet into the mat, the big toe, the little toe, the centre of the heel. The back of the pelvis, the sacrum heavy. The rib cage heavy and the back of the skull heavy. And we're just noticing how the back of the neck is long but lifted from the mat. And how we have a feeling of lightness through the lower back. Or we have a little space at our lower back. So those are our checkpoints. And once we've got those checkpoints, this is when our spine is as close to neutral as our body allows us to be. Keeping this alignment, bring your hands up to your front bottom ribs. Slide them wide if you can. Let your shoulders and elbows relax. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So beginning with our thoracic breath, we breathe in to widen the sides and the back of the rib cage. And as you exhale, feel the rib cage narrow underneath your hands. So we're noticing how the floor gives us feedback now. We're spreading the back ribs into the mat, and as you breathe out, the back ribs become heavier into the mat. We're almost just letting go, allowing gravity and the contraction of our breathing muscles to get that feeling of letting go of the ribs, making them heavier. Same with the pelvis. So let the pelvis relax, let the back of the pelvis become heavy, but without adjusting our alignment that we just set up. Now in your next out breath, draw the navel to spine to engage your transverse abdominis. And another muscle we want to think about is the pelvic floor. So on your next out breath again, without losing transverse abdominis, lift the pelvic floor up. So continue to breathe, feel the control of these two muscles as they draw in, and feel how they reinforce on your out breath. So breathing naturally engages our abdominal muscles. This is why it's important throughout our workout. Once you're there, bring your hands to the sides of your body, relax them into the mat, and on your next out breath, begin to tip your pelvis backwards, bringing your lower back down towards the mat. Notice how your pubic bone lifts and your tailbone gently peels off the mat. On your in-breath, let your pelvis come back to neutral, so we're rocking the tailbone back to the mat, bringing the three bones at the front of your pelvis level, the lower back light, or maybe slightly lifted. Keep going, so using your out breath to tip the pelvis back, feel how the abdominal muscles, the transverse abdominis, the pelvic floor lifts to allow that to happen, and how those two muscles help to lengthen the tailbone down and bring the pelvis in a controlled manner back to neutral. So keep going with this, just a couple more times, feeling how none of the rest of the body is affected by this movement. So we're really isolating the movement from your pelvis and your lower back. So just bringing some awareness into our bodies. When you find neutral, we're going to make this bigger if we can. So we're going to tip the pelvis backwards and this time roll up into a shoulder bridge. So bringing up the tailbone, the sacrum, the lower back, the waist, the ribs, and maybe lifting up onto the backs of our shoulders. Remember, just going to where we can. Pausing at the top, checking that your pubic bone is higher than the belly button. The belly button is higher than the ribs, so let the rib cage relax. Feel the backs of the hips and the legs do the work. The abdominals control the spine. We roll back down when you're ready. So back ribs come down first. Imagine your sternum, your chest bone relaxing between your shoulder blades. Bringing the ribs down, the waist, the lower back, the pelvis, and then gently rock the tailbone down to find neutral spine and pelvic alignment. Let's go again. So using your out breath to tip the pelvis, initiate this movement, and we roll up to the top. Feeling the sit bones narrow, the front of the hips long and wide, ribs relaxed again. And we're just going to do this one more time. So in your own time, keeping the arms relaxed on the floor, keeping the three corners of the feet, so big toe, little toe, center of the heel on the mat, knees stay at the same distance. Now rolling back down, this time we're going to stay there. We're going to stay in our neutral pelvis and spine alignment when we get there. Interlace your hands and take the hands behind your head. Thumbs run down the sides of the neck. And we want to feel that we're lifting up the back of the head. This is going to elongate the neck. We're going to keep the back of the neck long. Our elbows slightly lifted in your peripheral vision to keep the shoulder blades wide on your upper back. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, peel the head and shoulders up off the mat. Inhale to lengthen the spine back down. And again, exhale to lift up. Checking that your pelvis stays in neutral and doesn't tip towards your chest. So we're isolating the thoracic spine now, really warming up the upper abdominals. So to engage the upper abdominals, slide the front bottom ribs down towards your two pelvic bones. Think of lifting your chest bone up towards your thighs. And notice that my head and neck alignment doesn't change position as I lift and as I lower. This makes sure that the work comes from my center and not my neck. There is going to be some work in the neck because the neck muscles are supporting the weight of the head as it lifts, but we primarily want to feel that the work is here, and sometimes that's just a case of practicing. Okay, so we're just going to do one more here, and we're going to add rotation to this. So if you can, we're going to stay up. We're going to rotate our chest bone towards our left pelvic bone without moving the pelvis. Come back to center and roll back down. So notice again, my head and neck isn't changing alignment. As I rotate, I'm thinking my chest bone is rotating, not my head from my neck. And then back down. So as we rotate, we're going to keep alternating sides. Think of dropping the shoulder into the mat. So left shoulder when we're rotating to the left, and then it would be right shoulder as we're rotating to the right. So the more we isolate the movement from the rib cage, not the neck and the head, the more we're going to feel it around the waistline. So we should be able to feel that waking up right now. And we're just going to do one more to the right. So the last repetition is to your right. So we're even on both sides. When you lower back down, release your arms. Now we're going to take our hands onto our pelvic bones. This is just for a little bit of feedback and to internalize, so we're focusing on our bodies again. When you're ready, on your next out breath, we're going to lift our right leg to tabletop. On your next out breath, we're going to start to lower the right leg towards the ground. Let it go only as far as you can, keep your alignment, and then inhale to lift back up. So I'm focusing on moving from my hip joint, trying to keep the angle at my knee the same. And each time I exhale, again, I'm deepening transverse abdominis, pelvic floor, and I'm checking that those checkpoints stay anchored into the mat. So back ribs, pelvis. Neck stays long. Check in that we've not got tension in your neck and shoulders. And you're just going to do one more. So when this foot lands on the mat this time, we're going to keep it there. We're going to change legs. So we exhale to initiate the movement. Think of lightening the thigh off the ground and then start to lower and lift. Now with the weight of this leg, the pelvis is going to want to rotate in the same direction of the moving leg. So what we've got to think of doing is trying to drop the back of the opposite pelvis into the mat. So in this case, the right side. That's going to prevent the pelvis from rotating. And when this leg lowers, we're going to keep it there. We're going to come back to the first leg. So we're going to do a modified single leg stretch. So we lift the leg up to tabletop. You extend the leg out, bend the knee in, and lower the foot to the mat. So we're just now making it a little bit more challenging for the abdominals because a straighter leg is heavier than a bent leg. So what we want to check in is that as the leg straightens out, we're still able to keep our alignment. And we're not allowing the pelvis to tip forwards in the direction of the leg because that would mean the lower back would be arching away from the ground. Okay, last one on the left leg. And as we come in, we lower back down. We're going to lift our right leg back up to tabletop. Deepen the pelvis, ribs, abdominal connection, head and neck relaxed. Get a sense of lifting your pubic bone towards your belly button. This is going to draw the lower back a little closer to the mat without crashing the lower back down. And we're going to float, see if you can lift the second leg. Now we want to be comfortable in tabletop because most of the next exercises start from this position. Option is to come back to the mat and do some of the pre-Pilates between, if you like. Interlace your hands, bring them behind your head. We're going to start with the legs first. So you're going to take an out breath and reach one leg long. This is our single leg stretch, and we come back in. And then change sides, and we come back in. Now if we can, we're going to start to lift our head and shoulders, and we're going to stay there. At the moment we're slow and controlled, and if we can, we're going to add a little bit of speed. So we reach out, switch, change, switch, change, switch, change. If we can, coordinating the arms this time. So as we pull in, ankle to knee, hand on the inside of the knee. Okay, and then change. This brings the alignment of knee, ankle and hip. So we're going to do 4 more. And 3, and 2, and 1. Both knees come in, head and shoulders lower down. Feet and knees together. We're going to start with the lower body again. Double leg stretch. So when you're ready, on your exhale, send the legs out. Send the pubic bone towards the belly button to bring the lower back close to the mat. And then come back in. So using your exhale to reach out, your inhale to come back in. Option, as the knee comes in, we reach towards the ankles. Legs go out and in. Another option, as the legs reach out, the arms reach out. Up and down. Remember, all of this can be done without the head and shoulders lifted. And we're going to do 2 more. And last one. Knees come to tabletop. Lower the arms all the way down. Okay, legs stretch as high up to the ceiling as you can without moving your thigh bones from vertical. So if the knees are slightly bent, that is absolutely fine. Okay, but we're trying to achieve straight as legs as we can without adjusting the pelvis. Double leg lower and lift. So when you're ready, exhale, we lower the legs to a point that we feel that tension, but we can keep our alignment. And lift. Lower and lift. Option here to bend the knees. Lessen the load. If you want more, guys, when the legs lift, hands behind the head, lift the head and shoulders. We've got 3 more. And lift. Can you get lower every time? 2. And lift. Last one. lift. Now we're going to stay here. One leg lowers and lifts. Switch and lift. So this is our scissor. Remember, head and shoulders can lower. You can do the bent knee version if we can. 5, 6 quick actually. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight legs up. Bend the knees. Lower the head and shoulders. Take a breath in. Exhale, curl up. Single leg stretch legs with rotation. Off we go. We rotate and center. Rotate and center. Rotate and center. Rotate. This is our crisscross. 6 quick. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Give your knees a hug into your chest. Gently rotate head from side to side. Definitely makes you warm, that does. That is our 5 series. So 5 set of exercises back to back, really challenging the endurance and stamina of our core muscles. And then just take that rock side to side on your lower back. Taking the hands behind the thighs, lift your head and shoulders up. If your spine allows you to, just gently rock forward and back. Another option would be to roll onto your side, push yourself up with your hand. And when momentum allows you to, come all the way up to sitting. We're going to take a stretch of our abdominals now. I think we've earned that. So come all the way down onto your tummy. Take your arms to your W shape. So forearms on the ground. Feet to a comfortable distance, pelvis in neutral. So we've got 3 bones at the front of the pelvis level with the mat. Relax legs and glutes. Abdominals draw in, shoulders down away from ears. Forehead on the mat, and when you're ready, we're going to lift the chest bone. We're going to lift the chest bone up, gently sliding the shoulders down away from the ears, keeping the glutes relaxed, but the abdominals lifting and lengthening the lower spine. And then lower back down. So just to counterbalance all that flexion that we've done, coming into a little bit of extension. So working through the upper back, widening the chest. And I focus on trying to keep the skin on the back of my neck really long. So lifting up and then lowering down. So checking into our lower back and making sure that we're not feeling a pinching sensation. Maybe reduce your range if that's the case. If you can explore the rest of your range and you want to, we're going to lift the chest, gently pressing down into the arms. Lift the chest up. Now this is going to give us a deeper stretch through the abdominal wall, maybe down into the hips as well. And then gradually peeling the spine back down. It's almost the sensation that you get when you do your shoulder bridge. But this time into our swan prep, which is extension of the spine. So the opposite to flexion. So this is going to stretch the front of the spine, really opening up the abdominal area, bringing flexibility to the spine. That should feel really nice. So we're just going to do 2 more of these, just go into a range that feels comfortable again for you, keeping the shoulders down. Just check into the neck, it's relaxed. And last one. So feeling that equal distribution through the spine, we're making sure that even though we're using the arms to help, I'm still directing my chest forwards and up, and then lower. So coming up, hands by the shoulders, use your arm strength to push up. Knees come a little bit further forwards, and then take a cat stretch. So round the spine, tuck the chin, and then just let your hips wiggle side to side, your chest wiggle side to side. So just stretching out the side of your body. And then take a seat. Any seated position that is comfortable for yourself, and then take a deep breath in. And out. One more time. And in. And out. Thank you for joining me today. That is our quick ab class. If you can, subscribe below and click the bell icon so that we get the notifications for the next classes. Thank you, I'll see you next time.